In the wizarding world of Harry Potter, magic isn't always used for good. Hidden among the thousands of spells taught at Hogwarts are a handful so dangerous that they strike fear into the hearts of even the most powerful witches and wizards. Some can control your mind, some can torture you beyond imagination, and one can end your life in a flash of green light. Today we're counting down the 5 most dangerous spells in Harry Potter. From forbidden curses to dark magic that even Death Eaters fear, these spells prove that magic can be just as terrifying as it is powerful. Let's begin. Number 5. Sectumsempra. At number 5, we have Sectumsempra. Unlike many dark spells that have existed for centuries, Sectumsempra is surprisingly modern. It was invented by a brilliant Hogwarts student named Severus Snape during his school years. Snape described the spell as being for enemies. That warning alone tells us how dangerous it truly is. When cast, Sectumsempra attacks its target with invisible slashes. The victim suddenly suffers deep cuts and severe bleeding, as if struck repeatedly by an invisible blade. What makes this spell especially frightening is that there are no visible weapons involved. The damage appears almost instantly. The most famous use of Sectumsempra occurred when Harry Potter discovered the spell in an old potions textbook. Without understanding what it actually did, Harry used it against Draco Malfoy during a duel. Within seconds, Draco collapsed, covered in deep wounds. The scene shocked Harry himself, who had never intended to cause such serious harm. If Severus Snape had not arrived quickly and used counter curses, Draco's injuries could have been fatal. Because of its ability to cause devastating injuries in a matter of seconds, Sectumsempra earns its place among the most dangerous spells in Harry Potter. Number 4. Fiendfyre. At number 4 is Fiendfyre. If ordinary fire is dangerous, Fiendfyre is a nightmare. This dark magical fire is one of the most destructive forces in the wizarding world. Once unleashed, the flames grow rapidly and take the shape of gigantic magical beasts such as dragons, serpents, and monstrous creatures. Unlike normal fire, Fiendfyre seems almost alive. It hunts, it spreads, and it consumes nearly everything in its path. Even experienced dark wizards struggle to control it. One of the most famous examples occurred during the Battle of Hogwarts when Vincent Crabbe cast Fiendfyre inside the Room of Requirement. The flames quickly spiraled out of control. They destroyed priceless magical objects, threatened everyone inside the room, and ultimately led to Crabbe's own death. That is what makes Fiendfyre so terrifying. The spell does not care who cast it. Once released, everyone becomes a potential victim. Number 3. Imperio. Coming in at number 3 is the Imperius Curse. Many people would argue that losing your life is the worst thing that can happen to you. But imagine losing control of your own mind. Imagine watching yourself obey someone else's commands while being unable to stop. That is the terrifying power of Imperio. A victim under the Imperius Curse becomes completely vulnerable to the caster's will. They may reveal secrets, betray friends, steal valuable items, or even commit crimes. And in many cases, they do it willingly because the curse creates a feeling of calmness and obedience. During the First Wizarding War, countless witches and wizards fell under the influence of Imperio. Some later claimed they had committed terrible acts only because they were being controlled. This created fear and confusion throughout the wizarding world because it became difficult to know who was acting freely and who was merely a puppet. The ability to steal another person's freedom makes Imperio one of the darkest spells ever created. Number 2. Crucio. At number 2 is the Cruciatus Curse, known simply as Crucio. This spell exists for one reason and one reason only: to cause pain. There is no practical use, no defensive purpose, no beneficial effect, only suffering. Victims of Crucio experience agony so intense that many struggle to describe it. The pain attacks every part of the body and mind simultaneously. Long-term exposure can leave permanent psychological scars. Throughout history, dark wizards have used Crucio to punish enemies, extract information, and spread fear. The curse became particularly infamous during the reign of Lord Voldemort and his followers. Its cruelty is so extreme that using it against another human being is considered one of the most serious crimes in the wizarding world. The very existence of this spell reminds us that some forms of magic were created solely to hurt others. Number 1. Avada Kedavra. And finally, we arrive at the most feared spell of all, Avada Kedavra, the killing curse, the spell that every witch and wizard hopes they never see. Unlike other dangerous spells, Avada Kedavra has a single purpose: death. There are no injuries, no visible wounds, no suffering. A flash of green light is followed by instant death. That simplicity is what makes it so terrifying. There is usually no opportunity to fight back, no chance to recover, no second chance. The curse became infamous because it was the preferred weapon of Lord Voldemort. It was responsible for countless deaths during both wizarding wars. Yet perhaps the most famous victim was Harry Potter himself. At least that was Voldemort's intention. Remarkably, Harry survived an attack that should have been impossible to survive, creating one of the greatest mysteries in wizarding history. Even so, Avada Kedavra remains the ultimate symbol of dark magic. No spell has inspired more fear, no spell has taken more lives, and no spell better represents the terrifying power that magic can hold when placed in the wrong hands. From invisible slashes and uncontrollable magical fire to mind control, torture, and instant death, these spells reveal the darkest side of the wizarding world. But what do you think? Did I rank these spells correctly? Or is there another dangerous spell that deserves a place on this list? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the darker side of Harry Potter, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and until next time, mischief managed.